God is so good and so funny. Recently, I realized I still got some Peter in me. If you're familiar with the disciple Peter, you probably know what I'm getting at. I still got a little temper on me. It's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still there. And recently I realized this because it's been coming out a little bit. So I prayed and asked God to help me with my temper. And what do you think he did? He put me in a situation where I had to control my temper. So I set up an appointment for 9:30 a.m. to get my 2 front tires replaced. And I asked them ahead of time, about how long do you think it's going to take? And they're like, probably about 45 minutes. So I'm like, cool. I get there at 9:30. Guess what time I ended up leaving? 1:15 p.m. Almost 4 hours after I got there. And the later it got, the more pissed off I got. I was fuming on the inside, but I wasn't showing it on the outside. And it took everything in me to keep my composure. I was taking deep breaths and praying in my head like, God, please keep me from crashing out on these mechanics. Even though it would have been justified, I would have still felt bad afterwards. Once they finally get finished with my car, I walk up to the register to pay, and the head mechanic was like, you've been waiting for a really long time. And I smiled, and I'm like, yeah, almost 4 hours. And he was like, I know, I'm so sorry. This happened, that happened, just explaining why it took so long. And they were super busy, so I could tell they were overwhelmed, which is part of the reason why I didn't crash out. Because even though I still got a little temper on me, I'm also a very empathetic person. So he was like, you know what? Since you've been so patient with us, we're not going to charge you anything. It's on us. And I'm like, are you serious? He was like, yeah, that's the least we could do. Now, if I would have crashed out and went off like I really wanted to, I probably would have had to pay, and they probably would have told me to never come back. So I say all that to say, doing the right thing is usually the hardest thing. But when you do right by God, he will do right by you.